Welcome live to Chicagoland Speedway near Joliet, Illinois for the Chicagoland 100 for the Firestone Indy Lights Series. 790 laps, 1,500 miles of racing so far. And now the final 100 miles to determine who wins the Firestone Firehawk Cup. Previous winners have included Scott Dixon and Tony Kanaan. Let's go down for the command to start the engines.
Race fans, will you please welcome back Frankie Muniz for those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines.
Thanks, Buck. Appreciate it.
For 15 races, Rafael Matos and Richard Antonucci have battled for the Firestone Indy Lights Championship.
Antonucci has nosed in front of Rafael Matos to grab the lead.
2 weeks ago at Sonoma, that battle came to a head.
Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. He just pushed him out of the way. Beautiful. That's a professional play.
Matos' late race maneuver vaulted him into the points lead with just one race remaining. Today at Chicagoland Speedway, 2 drivers separated by 4 points race for 1 goal, the Firestone Firehawk Cup. 0.5 of a second.
3 wide into 1.
Wheel to wheel all the way through the corner.
Drag race to the finish. It is dead even.
The 2008 Firestone Indy Lights season will end today here at Chicagoland, and as we enter the 16th and final race, the separation is just 4 points. Anna Beatrice, who has had an outstanding season, is 3rd in points. Earlier today, Mike King had a chance to talk with the 2 championship contenders.
These are the men of the hour in this race. Rafa Matos will go in with a 4-point lead in the championship. That, Rafa, by virtue of winning the pole. You've had a tough time on some starts this year on ovals. How big is the start of this race for you?
It's extremely important. To be in the front is extremely important. I think we've proved again that we have a good car. I think we have a good speed for the race as well. We'll see what happens. It's a long and it's going to be a hard fight, but we're ready for it. We put ourselves in a position to fight for the championship, and I'm hoping to cross this finish line and bring the championship for the AFS and Ready Green team.
Rafa Matos, the 4-point championship leader. Richard Antonucci is the man that's chasing him. And Richard, you guys have gone back and forth. It's been like a heavyweight fight all season long. Easy to say that this is the biggest race of your career?
Yeah, it's a big one for sure. It will wrap up and summarize a great season. I think both Rafa and myself have respect for one another, and I definitely think that it's been an extremely good season, a great opportunity that Sam Schmidt, Lucas Oil, and LifeLock gave me to participate. And we got a chance to win this championship at the last round. We really want to take it home. It's second means so much less, and I think we're going to have a very good race car today, and we got some good teammates hopefully we can be friends with out there, and then at the end of the day take it home.
So it's one race, and it all comes down to this, all the marbles between Rafa Matos and Richard Antonucci. Who's it going to be? We're about to find out. Let's go upstairs to Bob Jenkins and Robbie Buell.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Yes, we will determine the championship, and we will do so on a very fast and competitive racetrack. Robbie, what do we look for in today's race?
It's an exciting racetrack. We're going to see a lot of side-by-side action, even 3-wide action. And why these drivers can do that, we got 18 degrees of banking that lets them pull that off. From there, no one driver is going to check out on this track. The reason for that, when you're running side-by-side, you don't run as fast as you run in nose to tail. And also, that keeps big packs of cars together. So, for our pole sitter and points leader, Rafa Matos, he's not going to check out on this deal. Now, our 9th place starter, Richard Antonucci, he needs friends. We just heard that from him. You need help out on this racetrack to go fast. A lot of side-by-side action, but tough to pass. So I couldn't think of a better venue to figure out who's going to be our 08 champion.
It should be great. Take a look at the starting lineup at the top of your screen. And Robbie will also call upon you to give us the keys to today's race.
Well, the first key to this race is strategy, and strategy ties in with experience. What we're going to see today is a high-speed chess match. You don't want to just make a pass on somebody and get alongside them, and then maybe somebody will tug underneath you, so you really want to plan that out. From there, friends, we just heard you need help around here. You need 2 cars, 3 cars working together, teammates. Who's helped you in the past? Who do you owe a favor to? From there, restarts. Restarts always create opportunities. We've said that all year, so that's the deal. That's the keys.
We are getting set to go. It's the largest Firestone Indy Lights field ever to race here at Chicagoland Speedway. 24 cars get set to go, and the green flag is out. Matos leads them down. Anna Beatrice in the green and white car. Ari Lyondike Jr. also. Oh, and we have a spin. Daniel Harrington, and is everybody going to miss him? Unbelievably so, although several cars are going to get involved. Wow.
Yeah, but you know, that's incredible that he spun right there in mid-pack, and everybody was spinning to avoid him, and then we just saw a little bit of a slide there right at the end. That looks like that's Wade Cunningham in the number 9.
I also saw Dylan Battistini, who this week is in the 22 car, involved in this incident. But that could have been a lot worse than it turned out to be, although several cars, it looks like, will be eliminated from competition. Dylan Battistini, who has been with Panther Racing throughout the year, is no longer with that team and has this ride with Moore Racing for the final event of the year. Here's a replay of what happened.
Take a look. There's the black and silver car. He's just spun on his old cold tires. Everybody's avoiding to miss him. There's Battistini in the yellow car. He spun on the high side. He's okay right there, the 5 car. But there is contact, and we have lost it. Okay, we're looking, boy. Look right there. There's the spin, just cold tires. Everybody's avoiding. There's the yellow and white car of Battistini. Contact takes him out.
And on board with Richard Antonucci here. Right in front of him. Oh, he missed just barely.
Man, that just shows you how fast. And remember, that's on the first lap. These guys aren't even up to speed. They're running 190 miles an hour around this racetrack. There, you're only running about 130, 40 miles an hour, and look at how quick it happens out on that track.
Indeed it does. Well, we mentioned earlier the history of close finishes here at Chicagoland. Last year's finish went down to the Guinness Book of World Records as the closest in auto racing history. Firestone Indy Lights on ESPN2 is brought to you by Firestone. With a tradition of innovation that spans over 100 years, Firestone is the first name in Indy racing. So a caution here at the on the first lap of the race has eliminated, it looks like, a couple of cars. On the hook and with the diaper on is the number 9 car of Wade Cunningham, and the 22 of Dylan Battistini is also down there off of corner number 2. Let's get down to Mike King.
Orts has seen its drivers win 3 of the last 4 championships in this series. And Sam, you've got Richard Antonucci out there. Literally a position can decide this thing. He almost didn't get to complete the first lap of this race.
Yeah, it's certainly not good for the heart out here today with watching that happen in the first lap. But part of me says, that might be a good luck sign for the rest of the race. So somebody's looking over for us today, and I hope what goes around comes around. We get a good finish out of this. It's going to be a long race, and you're going to see a lot of 2x2 racing. So I think you can get back to the front. We'll see what happens.
Sam, we also understand that Anna Beatrice has some electronics problems in the car. She's literally having to count her own gears. Shouldn't hurt her too much, though, on an oval.
No, I wouldn't think so. She's obviously very talented and loves racing on the oval, so I certainly expect her to be a contender by the end of this thing.
Okay, that's Sam Schmidt. And as we mentioned, Bob, boy, his team just had dominated this series over the last 4 years, and he's looking to take a driver into that championship celebration for the 4th time in the last 5 seasons. And,
of course, before becoming a car owner, he was a top race driver also. Well, Rafael Matos has one of the most impressive resumes of any driver in the Firestone Indy Lights series, but the 2007 Champ Car Atlantics champion still feels he has a lot to prove.
Rafael Matos sweeps a doubleheader.
Racing for me is all about results and about winning championships.
Rafael Matos!
but I think I still have to accomplish something. You know, I will be trying to win the Indy Pro Series title. That's my main goal this year, and you know, hopefully I can help HR to with the IndyCar program as well. IndyCar has always been a dream. I grew up in Brazil racing go-karts, and I was watching Emerson and later on Helio Castroneves and Tony as well. So it was something that I was trying to achieve. You know, I'm trying to be in IndyCar one day, and I'm getting closer every day. I believe there's a lot of options with HR in the future, and so I think if I can prove myself one more time, I'm gonna have the opportunity there, no doubt about it. Now I'm gonna show you guys my little toy. I like to drive this car around, it's really fun. It's a Porsche 911, 1977, so kind of feel you're in the 70s. Sometimes I think I was born in the wrong era. This place is nice, Diplomat. It's a classic car, so it's the original color. I kind of like, as I said, I kind of like old stuff. I like old music, I like old cars, and I don't like old women.
I think if I had a Porsche 911, I'd like to drive it too around the streets, huh?
No question, especially down there in South Beach area.
You betcha. There's Rafael Matos. He is the leader of the race. He took off at the drop of the green flag from his pole position and was out front when the yellow fell. Ari Lyondike Jr., his teammate, is running in second position. Anna Beatrice is third, followed by Mike Potikin, James Davison. Jonathan Klein is sixth, Logan Gomez is seventh, and Richard Antonucci, his championship opponent, is back in the eighth position.
And looking there at Antonucci, remember, he made it cleanly by that first lap incident. He was stuck behind there, so he's just breathing easy that he got through that one incident. Now, what Richard would have liked to seen at the start, he would like to seen his teammate of Anna Beatrice jump up in front of Rafa. That didn't happen. Rafa was real happy to see Ari Lyondike, his teammate, tuck in behind him, a little bit of cushion.
Rest of the top 10, Bobby Wilson is ninth, and Robbie Pecorari is running in the 10th position. Field comes down off of corner number 4. They get the green flag, and here we go back to racing.
That white car you see there on the high side of the screen, that's Mike Potikin. He's been running really strong all weekend, every session. When I talked to him this morning, he said, I got a really good car. I can go anywhere on the racetrack.
And another car in the wall. That's J.R. Hildebrand at number 25. JR came into this event fourth in the point standings, and it's going to be a disappointing ending to his season.
And obviously he's hurt the whole right side of the car. You see that the right front suspension bent in, the right rear just folded there, and you know he's been a winner here on one of these super speedways, so I'm sure he's hoping for a good day. There he's spinning, he's got it locked up, bam, inside to the outside of the wall. You know, not sure what happens. Maybe his car was just a little bit loose. That's where the rear of the car wants to step around. The tire temperatures were up to pressures and temperatures that time. So, you know, we'd have to go back and really pick that apart to see what it is. So
he was the winner at Kansas. His race ends early here at Chicagoland. Rafael Matos is the leader under caution at Chicagoland. At Chicagoland Speedway, we not only are determining the winner of the Firestone Indy Lights Series today, we will also determine the winner of the IndyCar Series Championship. Tune in for the Peak Antifreeze and Motor Oil IndyCar 300 here at Chicagoland, which can be seen on ABC this afternoon at 3:30 Eastern Time. Down to Mike King.
Well, this is the SunrichGourmet.com 100, and I guess it's only appropriate that Mike Larson, the CEO of SunrichGourmet.com, joins us here on pit lane while we're under yellow. First off, it's great to have you. Second, this is a Chicagoland-based business, so doing business right here at your local track.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that. You know, we're being here right here in Chicago, and such a good race with the championship on the line, and so we're really excited to be part of this.
You guys have also been involved with an IndyCar Series team this season.
Yes, we sponsor with Dale Coyne Racing. We sponsor the number 19 car, Mario Moraes, as well too. So we're really excited to be with the IndyCar Series, and it's done really well for us. It's been a great opportunity.
So this gourmet food company located right here in Chicagoland. Mike, it's great to have you here on pit lane. Enjoy the rest of the race.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that is Mike Larson, and he is the CEO of sunrichgourmet.com. Bob?
All right, just 10 laps completed here at Chicagoland, still under caution. We'll be right back. Well, a slow start to this Chicagoland 100 for the Firestone Indy Lights. We've had 2 cautions already and really no laps under green. Let's see if we can't put a series of green flag laps together and see some racing as we're back to competition. That's Rafael Matos leading Ari Lyondike Jr. Anna Beatrice is third, then Mike Podican and James Davison on board with Rafa looking back to Ari.
And there you see a little bit back in the field there. You see everybody kind of looking to the high side. But we still haven't even developed a rhythm in this race yet to see what kind of cars everybody has and just, size up the competition. So hopefully get a little bit of rhythm. And there we're on board with Antonucci.
And that's Brent Sherman right beside him in the 15 car. Sorry, that's Bobby Wilson in the 15 car. He's driving his first race for Panther Racing. Now we begin to get this bunch up that you talked about, Robbie.
Here it starts happening. Get the juices going a little bit right now. But that's Rafa. For this point in the race, he couldn't have scripted a better scenario. They're just running nose to tail as teammates. He's got a little cushion behind him. Bia's about 4 car lengths back behind Ari. They're fat and happy right now, but again, this is a high-speed chess match. There's going to be a lot of positioning that goes on. It's not going to end this clean looking, that's for sure.
Mike Podican driving a good race so far. He's there in 4th position. They are 3 wide through corner number 3.
And as we're looking back here at Ari, so he stays right on the gearbox there. There's some 3 wide stuff.
Logan Gomez is on the bottom of the racetrack. The number 3 car is Pablo Donoso, and that is Sean Guthrie in number 4. And this is back here for 11th, 12th, and 10th, 11th, and 12th.
And Sean Guthrie, he has not had a very good car all day long. And to see him run up there, he's obviously got a good race car. They've made some improvements there.
Side-by-side battle here. Podican is in the 43, Davison in the 11.
Yeah. Now let's point right there. Bobby Wilson. We talked about him in that National Guard car for Panther. This is the first race he's been in for them, and he's up to 4th spot. That's the car that Dylan Battistini's been in, and had won 4 races on these super speedways. So they got a good package there and a good pilot in Bobby Wilson.
Jonathan Klein is in the yellow and white car number 2 as he battles for position with Podican. First 4 cars have sort of broken away here from the rest of the field. Bobby Wilson there in the 15 car. Remember, his consecutive starting streak was broken at Infineon when the team did not choose to run there. And so he has started all over again, but with a different team.
3 wide. And well, look at these cars as they whirl into this corner. You just see a little bit of movement. The car's just the tread movement as it gets loaded up into that 18 degrees of banking at 190 plus miles an hour.
Bobby Wilson, Anna Beatrice. Bobby Wilson. Here comes Jonathan Klein in with number 2.
Yeah, for Team Moore Racing in that yellow and white car. That's where he just had a huge draft and a head of steam. And did you see his nose just plow right in there? And that's where it is. Here's the pack racing. Look at this.
Meanwhile,
we're on board with Antonucci.
Yep, here he comes trying to move his way up. But boy, there's a lot of traffic. And look at that.
You see how close that was? I think that was Podican right in front to that wing of Guthrie.
Sean Guthrie.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Now remember, but Antonucci's mindset, when you take a guy like Mike Podican or Sean Guthrie, hey, they got nothing to lose. This guy we're on board with right here, Richard Antonucci, he needs to get up to the front. He can't risk any sense of getting taken out. But he also knows through communication with his team that Matos is leading this race, and he needs to get up there and do everything he can to pressure Matos and do what he can to beat him.
And by the same token, people like Bobby Wilson, who did not run with Team E at Infineon. He's maybe looking for a ride for 09. He has nothing to lose and trying to make a good impression on the Panther guys.
Look at this, on board with Antonucci. He's up on the high side of the racetrack, and the reason you just see him fell back in, you can get up alongside of everybody, but remember, when you're running side by side on these ovals through this corner, so watch Richard here. He's going to come up alongside Sean a little bit there. He didn't close too much, but it's a longer distance when you're up on that high side of the racetrack, so it's a tough deal to get the pass done.
Sean Guthrie there in car number 4 has improved the most position since the start of the race. He is up 13 spots.
Yeah, he's obviously made a lot of changes to that car, his team, to drive to the front like he has.
There's Robbie Pecorari on the orange and blue car at the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, running in the 6th box. He's teammates to Guthrie.
All this is for the 4th position on back. The first 3 cars sort of broken away from the rest of the field, but then we get back here to this group of cars, and they are just inches apart all the way around the racetrack.
Yeah, that is the pack racing. When you got 2 guys at the front of the pack running side by side, that keeps everybody else behind them because they're running a little slower running side by side, so everybody else can pack up behind them.
First 4 cars broken away: Matos, Lyondike, Wilson, and Beatrice. Then you get back here to Pecorari, James Davison, Jonathan Klein, Sean Guthrie, Antonucci, Gomez. Potikin is back there. And now we see these first 4 cars that broke away from the field beginning to mix it up just a little bit. That's Wilson running in 3rd position. Anna Beatrice looking to the outside of him, trying to find an opportunity. What an incredible season Anna Beatrice has had there in that number 20 car.
Antonucci.
Oh, and that is going to eliminate the championship possibility for Richard.
Wow, I think that was contact with Guthrie. We'll take another look at that. But yeah, there's Guthrie's car. So there was a little bit of contact there, and he is out of the race. Woo!
It is all over for Richard Antonucci, and the championship will go to Rafael Matos. What an unfortunate way to end a terrific season.
Yeah, I'm sitting here with goosebumps.
Well, he's obviously okay unstrapping. Here is a look at it again.
On board, we're looking right over at Guthrie. There's the first contact, and he's still running. There's a little contact with his right wheel, Guthrie's right wheel. Now watch. Let's see where the contact is.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. So Richard ran up on him on the high side, and obviously Sean's car washed up a little bit, and it was Sean's right front that got into the left rear of Antonucci, and that's it. Here we go. So watch Antonucci's car go by. There's a contact right front to his left rear. That's just tight racing that you get around here. You get that movement. You know, I can't point blame to anybody there. That's just the tight racing you get here.
One more look at it.
Wow, they're close.
There's a contact. Antonucci hits the safer barrier, takes himself out of the race and the competition, but he is out of the car and okay. Down to Mike King.
Well, the 2 guys that are happiest to see this development on track, Michael Andretti and Gary Peterson. They're the owners of AFS Andretti Green Racing. Michael, the fist are going up in the air. I know you never hope something unfortunate to happen to a driver. Obviously, Richard Antonucci is okay, but a lot of happy people down here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's sorry that for him that it ended that way. You know, with him in the wall, we would have liked to definitely beat him, you know, in an outright race, but you know, we'll take it how we can get it, you know, because that's the way racing is. And I'm just so happy and proud of Rafa and the whole AFS AGR team. You know, Gary, it's been a great partnership these last 2 years, and hopefully it'll be a partnership for a long time to come.
Gary Peterson, why, former driver, congratulations. You're going to be celebrating a championship here in a few minutes.
Yeah, we sure are. It's great. I'm so excited. And, you know, we still got Ari out there, and hopefully he can win this race.
But right now you're 1-2.
1-2. We got to stay there. So
congratulations. You're the 2008 Firestone Indy Lights championship team.
That's great. It's just fantastic. Relationship with Mike and the whole Kim Green and everybody else, Kevin, has just been great. And they're a great team. We're going to continue on for years. So happy, everybody's happy, and hopefully you can step up to the IRL.
I think I hear a little bit of emotion choking up in that voice. This is Gary Peterson, Michael Andretti. They're celebrating down here in the AFS Andretti Green Pit area.
Rafael Matos is going to win his 4th championship in the last 6 years. This is quite a race driver, and he has secured himself as the champion as a result of Richard's accident. Back with more from Chicagoland in a moment. Back at Chicagoland Speedway, under caution once again, this time because the contender for the championship, Richard Antonucci, has been eliminated. He and Sean Guthrie got together over in turn number 3, and that ended his chances of taking the title. And so Rafael Matos, right there, is going to be the champion for 2008. Well, lots of activity on our motorsports calendar coming up Monday through Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern Time. NASCAR now on ESPN2. The Sprint Cup Series will have qualifying from New Hampshire at 3 o'clock Eastern Time Friday. And then on Saturday, NHRA Carolinas Nationals qualifying at 4 o'clock. Stay with ESPN for all of your motorsports needs. Well, we've completed 30 of 67 laps. And a lot of laps have been completed under caution, but we will get the green flag this time around. Looks like Sean Guthrie is going to be able to remain in contention. So here we go. Matos leading, Lyondike second, Bobby Wilson, Beatrice, Klein, Pecorari, Davison, Podican, Gomez, and Donoso. Your top 10. We're back to green.
Okay, let's look for the flare out. You got the leaders and then a bit of flare out back through the pack as they roll into turn 1. Jonathan Klein in the yellow and white car. They're driving for Team Moore Racing, looking at the high side. We know he has had a good car here, working his way up.
Robbie Pecorari up on the high side of the racetrack, up above Jonathan Klein.
That black and white car that kind of slipped through the middle there. James Davison, also a Sam Schmidt car. You know, we know these guys have fast cars around here.
Davison, a winner earlier this year in the Firestone Indy Lights Series in the second race at Mid-Ohio when Johnny Reed pulled in leading the race, but pulled in too soon, and Davison took the title.
And left us all dumbfounded.
Yes. James Davison.
Again, remember, it is a chess match because there's lots of times these guys, you have a lot of momentum and speed. And just because you have that momentum and speed, you don't necessarily want to just go to the high side, go to the low side. Sometimes it's better just to crack the throttle and say, hey, I'm going to stay right where I am. I'm not going to set myself up for some place I don't want to be on the racetrack and let somebody get underneath me.
Logan Gomez in that bright yellow car at the end of this group. He, of course, won the race last year here at Chicagoland in what has been determined as the closest finish in auto racing, not just Firestone Indy Lights or open wheel, but all of auto racing, the closest finish, as he beat Alex Lloyd.
We could not tell who won that race when they went across the start-finish line.
5/10,000ths of a second, or about 6 inches for Logan Gomez. And he's looking good here today.
Woo, a little bit of movement from the back of his car. When I talked to Logan yesterday, I said, how's your car? He said, it's good, but it's been inconsistent. You know, he wasn't sure what he has every session. And as a driver, you want to have consistency. You want to have something you can trust. So they were still working on the car, still tweaking on it. Looks like a pretty solid run here. And as long as you can stay on with the pack, and this pack pulls you around, you stay in that draft, even if your car's a little off in terms of speed and performance, you can hang on to the tail of this pack and work your way through.
Now, what does it feel like when you're in a draft like this? Does a car move around, or do you have control, or does it have control over you?
No, the draft definitely pulls you along. You actually, sometimes it makes it a little quieter. As soon as you break that kind of bubble and barrier, see, look at all the momentum he has there. Gomez up on top. He looks to the high side. Maybe not the right thing to do. Maybe say, hey, I just want to crack the throttle and stay back there. Again, you got to size up your competition. But it is a different sensation when you do get that draft and pull up behind somebody, and it takes the air off the front of your car. So it does change the balance of the race car, very much so.
We had a breakaway before the most recent caution, but not anymore, as everybody is pretty much staying all together here. And four-wide racing is still very much in evidence. Pecorari there with Podican.
Yeah, it almost looked like there's a little contact with the right front of Pecorari there and Podican in the white 43 car to his left rear, but they're continuing on.
All this at over 185 miles an hour. Let's go down to Mike King, who's with Richard Antonucci.
Yeah, here at the Infield Care Center. And Richard, we talked a half hour ago. This is not the way we wanted to talk after this race. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, I'm talking to you too soon. It's me. You know, consistency was key all year, and until Mid-Ohio, we had a perfect. With this accident, so you know, DNFs are not what you need ever. And cruising, I was picking them off out of hand or hairy. I would step back, but I had a great car, a really good car. The lifelog Lucas 07 car was flying, and I was getting people like on the. People's cars were starting to drop off, and mine was just getting better. So it was really coming together. I knew that we were 3 abreast coming out of 4 in that last lap, and we banged wheels on the straight, which is, you know, that's more akin to tin top racing. You don't do that in single seaters, but you know, some people will never learn, and unfortunately that's an accident that could have easily been avoided. And I think the 2 teammates were fighting, and number 4 washed up into me and clipped my rear because I was really wide. I was giving him space, but I think he wiggled and clipped into me.
Well, you've been a great competitor all season long. We're sorry it had to end in the wall, but we look forward to seeing you in 2009.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I got to thank my team, Lifelog, Lucas Oil, Tom Schmidt.
Okay, that's Richard Antonucci here at the Care Center. He's okay, but a frustrated race car driver for sure, Bob.
He is the nephew of Indy 500 winner Eddie Cheever, and Antonucci coming into this race had completed the most laps, had earned the most money, and had the most top 5 finishes. But it's all over for him today. Sean Guthrie right behind Robbie Pecorari. Guthrie in the number 4 car.
Obviously, the contact that he had with Richard hasn't hurt his car at all. He's out there running real hard and pretty confident where he's putting his race car.
That's Brent Sherman in the number 16 car, the team car to Bobby Wilson, the other Panther racer. Sherman, the only driver to be running at the finish of each race so far this year. Let's hope he can make it a clean sweep this year.
Kind of considers this his home track, living up the road away, so I'm sure he's got a big contingent here rooting him on, so he wants to take everything he can get out there.
One of the drivers who decided that NASCAR wasn't for him. He finished 23rd in the NASCAR nationwide point standings last year, but decided to take advantage of this opportunity in open wheel to run for Panther Racing. Up front, now of the first 5 drivers, make that the top 6 drivers, everybody has won a race except Arie Luyendyk Jr., and we're looking back on him right now. He has the most starts in Firestone Indy Lights competition. This is his 62nd start, but he has never won a race. Could this be the year and the race for Arie?
Well, they are teammates right now. They're just going to run like this all day till about the last 5 laps. If they weren't teammates, you wouldn't see them stay in line like this. They probably would be running at that. You'd see Arie challenging a little bit more and pushing. But right now, they say, hey, one of the 2 of those guys is in a position to win this race, so let's just kind of help each other, stay nose to tail, and then we'll sort it out the last 5 laps. Will Rafa kind of repay the favor of Arie maybe being a cushion for him early on here? We don't need that scenario now that Antonucci is out of this race and kind of open the door for Arie to sneak through. Who knows?
Luyendyk is right on the rear wing of Matos.
And when we're looking back at Arie, to stay right behind him there, Arie is breathing off the throttle. If he was full on the throttle, he would run up on the high side. So he is purposely putting his car behind Rafa right now. He's just breathing off the throttle. I'm just going to stay right on your gearbox. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm sure there's good communication on the radio from the pit bosses down on pit lane talking to both of these drivers.
Arie led 102 laps at Iowa and fortunately finished in 2nd position at that race after winning the pole position. He's the only driver, the most experienced driver here at Chicagoland in the Firestone Indy Lights Series. He has competed here. This is his 5th time and is the only driver who ran the very first race here in the Firestone Indy Lights Series back in 2002. And of course, he's an Indy 500 veteran, having started the 2006 Indy 500 and finishing in 28th position. Now pretty good battle shaping up here for 3rd position. Anna Beatrice feeling the heat from Bobby Wilson.
And Anna, too, she's thinking about points as well. She wants to finish 3rd in this championship, and that is definitely running through her mind. She wants to do everything she can to win, but she said, Robbie, I want to be on the podium here when this is said and done, and I'll be back next year. I still need to gain experience. She absolutely wants to be back in the Firestone Indy Lights Series next year, and her focus is to move on to Indy cars. But she says, I still am learning. And if you talk to the Sam Schmidt team, they say her drive, desire, focus is really been fabulous. And I would say of any of the drivers they have over there at Sam Schmidt, which is a good talent pool, she has really adapted well to these super speedways, offers great feedback to the engineers. As a result, she's been pretty competitive.
And we're going to see some lapping going on as Tom Waringa gets overwhelmed here on the front stretch. So he goes a lap down. Anna Beatrice was the winner of the Firestone Indy Lights race earlier this year on the 1 1/3 concrete at Nashville. Neither Matos nor Antonucci has won on an oval this season, but Rafa says that while they're new to him this year, he's still up to the challenge.
It's been a tough year in the ovals. I've been learning a lot. I'm still learning a lot, and you know, this is the 4th championship that I'm trying to win in the United States, and hopefully I will come out of the season with another championship. I really hope so. The AFS and Ready Green guys really deserve this one.
Well, he has wrapped up the championship. The question is he going to win the race here and wrap up the 2008 Indy Lights Series in victory lane?
The psyche of a driver, you know, the fact that Rafa hasn't won a race on the oval this year, trust me, he wants to win a race on the oval. He wants to show these IndyCar owners that he can do it all.
But Ari Luyendyk Jr. would like to win this race here this afternoon, and I know one person who would very much also like to see that. Mike?
Yeah, that's his dad, 2-time Indy 500 winner, Ari Luyendyk Sr. I know last week's test, Ari Jr. gave Rafa his entire bag of tricks on the oval. These guys have been great teammates, but I know you'd love to see Ari Jr. win this one.
Well, for sure, and now Matos has clinched his championship. You know, if they go into the last lap like that, we might see Ari win this race.
These guys, you know, you've had a lot of teammates over the year during your driving career. Have you ever seen two guys get along better, share better information?
Yeah, they're like brothers together. It's been really good. Rafa's been helping Ari Jr. a lot on the road courses, and it shows. And Ari's been helping him on the ovals, and it's been a really good teamwork this year.
It should be an exciting finish here. Ari Luyendyk Sr. watching his son hopefully put it in victory lane for the first time. And Bob, you know, I got to wonder, could we see him move over now that he's got the championship clinched? You just never know. Hey, Robbie, is that something that we should consider? A couple of teammates really helped each other out? Maybe see that here?
Well, you know, they're teammates right now. The last lap's a different story. But, Mike, what's interesting is they can't really give each other too many favors because you got Anna Beatrice and Bobby Wilson 3rd and 4th right behind them to keep them honest. So you got to be really careful how you set that up because it could blow it for both of those AFS AGR cars.
You know, last weekend, the Firestone Indy Lights Series had the weekend off while the IndyCar Series was at Belle Isle in Detroit. And Ari Luyendyk Jr. was called upon to fill in for Davey Hamilton, who's the normal driver analyst on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network. And Ari Jr. did a fantastic job helping Mike King up in the booth last weekend. So we think he's probably got a good career ahead of him in that respect when his driving career is over. Anna Beatrice and Bobby Wilson are still right there, but those 4 cars are leading the rest of the field. Davison back in 5th, then Klein, Gomez, Podikin. Mickey Gilbert is now running 9th, and Daniel Harrington in 10th position. And Harrington was involved in that first lap spin, but he has worked his way back to 10th spot.
What's been really interesting watching these top 4 is we've seen both Rafa and Ari be nose to tail, but then there's always been that gap of about 3 car lengths back to Anna, and I'm not sure why that is. But soon as Ari starts looking to make a move on his teammate, and you run side by side, all of a sudden you run a little bit slower, and then boom, Anna's going to pounce, and Bobby Wilson. They just kind of having the 2 cars run side by side opens up a bigger hole of air out there, and it just brings the car back there in 3rd position. In this case, just kind of sucks him along and brings him into that draft.
We've got less than 9 laps to go here in this finale for the 2008 Firestone Indy Lights season. And it looks like they're going to be coming up on another car to lap. Tom Waringa has also gone a lap down, and Sean Guthrie down a lap. Now look at Lyondike go to the outside, passing the number 24 car of Christina Orr.
Yeah, just looking up top, and now he's just tucked back down below.
Is he just waiting for the opportunity, or is he unable to pass his teammate?
He's just sizing up his car. You want to see if he just runs a little bit higher. What kind of race car do I have? Do I close on him as I roll off the corner or not? But soon as he really makes a commitment up top, that's when you'll see Anna and Bobby Wilson really come on the back of these cars.
If you're just joining us, Richard Antonucci was taken out of the race in an accident earlier. Rafael Matos has clinched the championship, and he is leading this race. That's his teammate Ari Lyondike Jr. right behind him. And Beatrice is back there in 3rd, Wilson in 4th, and quite a ways back on the racetrack, there is this huge group of cars all battling for position.
Very different than watching the top 4. Just a little brush there with Logan Gomez and James Davison.
Yeah.
Now, James has got to be careful. That could have cut his left rear tire. We got to keep an eye on that there in the 11 black and white car. Wow, look at
this. Is 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th on back.
Yeah, Jonathan
and some more smoke, indicating maybe some tires touched. And Lyondike is trying to get the... we got a spin.
Okay, that's...
The 6th car of Tom Dyer has spun.
Yeah, we'll have to see what brought that on. I don't know if that tied back to the smoke that you saw out there or not.
Dyer was running in 12th position when the caution came out, and we are less than 4 laps from the end of this race. Well, I hope this race doesn't end under caution. Let's take a look at what happened here.
Tom Dyer driving for Michael Crawford. Just take a look. There's his car just getting sideways.
Yep.
Did it all by himself. These guys did a good job of missing him. Yep. And now he's just going to run it down. The good news is here, he didn't get into the wall. He's going to drive that car back in. We are going to finish this thing under green. They're going to go back. We're going to see the last 3 laps of this thing be incredibly exciting.
You mentioned Michael Crawford Motorsports. It was announced earlier in the week that Michael Crawford Motorsports and HVM Racing in the IndyCar Series are going to team up in the Indy Lights competition next year.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic partnership for both sides, for HVM as well as Michael Crawford. He's worked so hard to keep building this team, and that's just part of the natural progression of growing here of what they have with the Indy Lights Series and the camaraderie of the IndyCar Series.
And of course, the advantage there of teaming up with an IndyCar team is practice, is testing.
Absolutely, and it's not just about the driver. It's about engineers, personnel, and that whole grooming process as you're trying to get to the top of the sport, and that being IndyCars.
Down to Mike King.
Yeah, Bob, just before that yellow flag came out, Ari Lyondike Jr. had gotten the call, and the team had told him, Ari, it's time to go. It's time to go. Ari radios back, tell him to tell Matos to slow down. But either way, this has been a great outing for AFS Andretti Green Racing, but, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Rafa, as gracious a kid as he is, to allow Ari to perhaps win this thing, but it does not look like it's going to play out that way with this late caution. But these two teammates, they're going to be very happy regardless of how they go off here. 1-2, 2-1. This is a big day for Rafa Matos, Ari Lyondike Jr., AFS Andretti Green Racing, and it's just a shame that it might end under yellow.
They have been given the signal, Mike, one more lap. So when they come down next time, they will get the green flag. We'll have one lap to determine the winner of the race. And don't forget, here at Chicagoland Speedway at 3:30 Eastern Time today on ABC. Check out the finale of the IndyCar Series. Will it be Helio Castroneves or Scott Dixon, the champion of that series? Here they come off the fourth corner. One lap to determine who's going to win here at Chicagoland. And there goes Leyendijk to the low side of Matos, and here comes Anna right behind him. Leyendijk has the lead.
This is where it gets tough. Look at this. Oh, they almost touched. There's Anna looking. She is by Rafa right now. Can she hold that?
Is Leyendijk going to be able to get his win finally in the Firestone Indy Lights Series? He has the lead as the field comes out of quarter number 4. Looks like he's going to do it. At Chicagoland Speedway, Arie Leyendijk Jr. finally gets it done in the Firestone Indy Lights Series. How about that? Anna Beatrice second, Matos was third, Wilson and Davidson your top 5.
Big celebration.
Unbelievable. We'll be right back. Firestone Indy Lights is brought to you by Verizon Wireless.
Here.
Rafael Matos, the champion, and Arie Leyendijk Jr., the winner of the race.
Well, I don't know if you could find two guys any happier. Arie, congratulations, you win in your final start of 2008. The team wins the championship. Does it get much better?
No, it's perfect. You know, this was a dream scenario. Me winning the race, Rafa winning the championship. More than words can describe. You know, Firestone tires held up. It was awesome. Targus, our sponsor this year. Joan, Stu, been awesome all year.
And how about this guy, the champion right here? How about Rafa Matos? We're going to be talking to him. Congratulations to AFS Andretti Green Racing, Bob Jenkins, as they continue to celebrate.
A lot of celebration down there in his 62nd start. Arie Leyendijk Jr. finally wins a Firestone Indy Lights race. We'll be back to talk with the champion Matos in a moment. The Firestone Indy Lights Series on ESPN2 is brought to you by Firestone, the first name in Indy racing. Rafael Matos is the champion of the Firestone Indy Lights Series for 2008. Here's Mike King.
Well, the Firestone Firehawk Cup and the Firehawk himself have made their way out here along with Al Spire, the executive director of Firestone Racing. Congratulations to Rafa Matos, the 2008 Firestone Indy Lights champ. Tell us about that last couple of laps.
Oh, Mike, I can't describe the emotions right now. It's been a very emotional season and, you know, just a dream situation for us. You know, Arie winning the race. He really deserves to win the race this year. And I'm just so happy I was able to deliver this championship for the whole crew, the AFS Andretti Green crew. I got to thank so many people, starting with Gary Peterson. Without his help, we definitely wouldn't be able to put this program together. You know, Michael Andretti, and Kim and Kevin as well. Everyone that has been supporting us this year. It's been just a great year and just a dream come true for everyone in the team. And they work really hard. They really deserve this one.
The championship celebration awaits this man. Congratulations, Rafa, as he finishes here with the championship in hand. It came earlier than he thought, Bob Jenkins, but you know what? Those last laps still very exciting.
Indeed, they were, and good to see Arie Leyendijk Jr. win his first race. It's been a great season, Robbie. Enjoyed working with you.
It's good to see Gary right up there.
Well, the championship has taken us from the super speedways to the short tracks, even to the street and road courses. A little tempers flare along the way, but all in all, a great season. Don't forget, the IndyCar season wraps up at 3:30 this afternoon on ABC. Thanks for being with us during our 2008 series. This is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.